Hi, I'm Roger from Holistiplan, and this is a feature announcement video, and it's going to be a bit more gimmicky than any of the other ones we've done, but it's going to be meaty. We've got several announcements we want to go through, but yes, a little bit gimmicky. Let me go outside and show you what I mean. I'm at the south rim of the Grand Canyon here, and so tomorrow morning, the way it's going to work is, I don't know, about 4:30 in the morning, going to head on down, start here at the south rim, run all the way down to the bottom of the canyon, Phantom Ranch. We'll do announcement number 1 down there. Where is it? Down there. And then going to run up to the north rim. Announcement 2 will happen up there. Turn right back around, run back down to the Colorado River again. That's announcement 3. And then just stagger on back up here to the south rim. Do it in one day. And I'll check in just to make sure I made it alive. Okay, here I am, 4:40 in the morning. I'm about a half mile from the trailhead. Gonna get my gloves on because it's freezing cold. And I'm gonna head on out, get started. Closer down to the river now. There it is. There's the bridge I'll be crossing, and there's like a tunnel. I don't know if you can see it. A tunnel to get through the rock to get to it. And then I guess somewhere up there is Phantom Ranch. I'm here at Phantom Ranch, and one cool thing about Phantom Ranch is there's a place to mail letters and postcards. And so I have thank you notes here to all of my colleagues at Holistiplan. Apparently, as I was saying, I was mailing cards to my colleagues at Holistiplan, and some guy started talking to me. But apparently when you mail something from Phantom Ranch, it gets a postmark stamp that says delivered by Mule. So it's maybe the only place in the United States where that happens. So hopefully all my colleagues will get a note that says delivered by Mule. I wanted to send them all a thank you note because they've been so supportive of me, and I just love working with them. And, you know, every day I'm pumped up to get out of bed and get to work because I just love spending time with all my teammates there at Holistiplan. So I figured I'd send them all a note from the bottom of the Grand Canyon. All right, here's announcement number 1. Just coming out of Phantom Ranch at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. And so announcement 1. So for a very long time, we resisted adding support to calculate the Obamacare premium tax credit. And the reason for that was to actually calculate it, you have to know the second lowest silver plan premium available to your client, which we're not going to build a database of every zip code in the whole United States. So we kind of put it off. But really, it's something that people wanted, and we can still approximate it, right? So here's how it's going to work, or here's how it does work, is if you, as long as you supply, well, if you don't supply a location, if you don't put a state on the household, then it'll use the benchmark rate, just kind of average for the whole United States. If you do supply a state, it will use a benchmark that's kind of like the average for that state. Pretty amazing variation, actually, across the states. Or if you want, you can override that. So if you actually do look up...
Hi.
Morning, y'all.
Good morning.
How's it going, y'all?
Hey.
So if you do... What was I talking about? Oh, so you can actually enter an amount to override. So if you actually do look up what is the second lowest premium on the silver plans available to your client, you can enter that. Now, another thing about the premium tax credit is it's limited by actually what is spent on that healthcare.gov, the marketplace plan premium. So even if the benchmark amount is, I don't know, $800 a month, but your client pays $400 a month, the credit will be limited by that. And so there's a place to enter that too. So again, you can, first step is enter, make sure for every household, say what state they're in, so you can at least narrow it down to the benchmark average for that state. Then second, people leaving trash on the trail, not cool. Then second, if you want to override what we supply as an average for that state, you can do that. And then third, if the actual premium paid is less than the benchmark, then you can enter that and it'll limit it that way. And then of course there's other stuff built in, like, you know, there's phase outs based on AGI and the size of the household. It used to be that we would determine size of household by the number of people in the household, but now we just determine it based on the number of taxpayers and dependents on the return. So play with that a little bit in scenario analysis. I'm glad to have that there because that's something people had asked for a long time. And there it is, the ACA premium tax credit. I'll see y'all at the top of the North Rim. This is it. Made it to the North Rim. Snow up here. It was snowing a little bit earlier. It was a rough climb up here. So, announcement number 2 is we're putting in field level notes on scenario analysis. This is something people have asked for, I think, since the beginning, pretty much. The ability to say, you know, this wage number I put in is, I don't know, $100,000 of wages and $50,000 of bonus, kind of a breadcrumb to yourself when you go back and look at the scenario later on. We're still kind of finalizing the design as of me recording this, but in essence, when you have a field highlighted, you know, to actually type in information, it'll open up a little place to enter a note. And if you do enter a note and then move on to another field, you'll get like a little something like in the corner, like in Excel, that says, hey, there's a comment attached to this field. So take a look at it. That's something people have been asking for a long time. So I'm really happy to be adding it. And I'm really happy to be getting off this cold North Rim of the Grand Canyon. I still got it took me about 7 hours to get up here. I still have a full marathon to get back to my hotel room, but the end is in sight and I'm going to relax on the way down. Here I am back at Phantom Ranch. Took me, and been at it about 12 hours now. Yeah, so the last announcement is we're working on state tax calculations again. Recall that in the fall, we did a few states, Virginia, California, Minnesota, New York, but now we've got a team just cranking through states. I have a list in my bag, but I'm too tired to pull it out and read them out to you. So I'll just put them on screen when we edit this video. So yeah, right now there's a list of states that are in beta on screen. Now what does that mean? It's in scenario analysis, all right? And also in range calc. We are not, at the moment, planning to do the work to have the OCR function read in the state taxes. There's just, you know, there's like 43 states that have state taxes. And at this stage, the critical piece is to make sure that when we're doing scenario analysis, if you're trying to determine what the marginal cost of, you know, one move or another is, and you want to know the federal and state amounts, that's what you'll be able to do in scenario analysis. Now, it's in beta. All the states are in beta, so we appreciate any comments we get on those. One day, I don't know when it'll be, but one day when state taxes exit beta, we're probably going to have to make that a extra charge or something, because there's just a lot of work keeping up with it, all the maintenance, all that stuff, keeping up with, like I said, 43 states, and they're changing their rules and they're changing their forms. It's just a big task. But, you know, that could be a ways off, because there's still a lot of work to do. We're still beta testing stuff. We're still getting a lot of really helpful comments from advisors out there who know a lot about their own states and are helping us improve what we're doing. So, yeah, that's announcement 3. The final check-in will be if, or rather when, I make it to the top of the South Rim. It's going to be a beast. It's like 10 miles to get up, and I'm really tired, and my legs are sore, and it's going to start getting cold apparently. But it's been a great day. And so, yeah, I'll check in at the end. Thanks for sticking with me. Well, obviously I made it back alive. I'm a terrible filmmaker though, because I did not document the actual moment when I finished the run. It was a little after 9 p.m. Remember, I started before 5 a.m. It was dark, it was cold, and all I could think about doing was putting one foot in front of the other and getting back to my hotel to try to warm up. So apologies, no footage of me finishing the actual adventure. I debated whether or not to make this video, to put this out there, because I recognize that after the year we all went through, it could seem or feel a little frivolous. You know, I'm on my vacation and not everyone's able to go on trips like that. The reason I did it though is that trip kind of was for me a really important bookend for the year that we went through. I mean, basically during the COVID pandemic, outside of my family, my focus was entirely on my work at Holistiplan and preparing for that run. And the two honestly kind of merged together in my life as one big goal that kind of went hand in hand. What I mean by that is, well, I mean, in the first 4 months or so after the lockdown started, I was probably, like a lot of you, I would say I was maybe dealing with a low-grade depression, just kind of not able to take care of myself, my health. All I did was work all the time, but the work was not terribly productive. And somehow, I wish I knew how, somehow the idea of this rim to rim to rim run got into my brain. Maybe it was a YouTube I saw. I could have sworn that a friend of mine mentioned it years ago, but he said he never did. So I don't know how it got in my brain, but it did. And it really gave me a newfound focus, and it gave me a way to step away from the work, from Holistiplan work all the time, and it gave me space to think more creatively, to kind of put my brain in a different place. Now that said, honestly, when I was out there training and out in the woods and you know, running on trails, I was thinking about Holistiplan a lot, but it was giving me a different way to approach work. So the two really went hand in hand, I think. And the reason I wanted to bring you along is, again, during this past year, I think we all had to deal with this, where my social circle really narrowed. It was my family, it was my colleagues at Holistiplan, and I know this sounds cheesy, but it was you, our members, the advisors who use the product. I draw inspiration from you. I think a lot about what can we do to give you the best possible product to help you do your jobs. I feel terribly guilty when we fall short of that promise. And so on all those training runs, and you were occupying a great deal of my thinking, of my brain activity. And that was the case on my run in the Grand Canyon as well. You were with me that entire time. And so for me, it was reasonable. I mean, I had no choice, I thought, but to find a way to bring you along with me as I did that. So thank you for being there over the past year. I really have felt supported by those of you who've been on Holistiplan, either just for a few weeks or even several years. Having you there and knowing and feeling your support really, really helped me personally get through what was a hard year for me and, of course, for everybody else. But just know that you were a part of helping me get through it. So thank you.